comic book hunting at a flea market. Now, if you know me, you might know that if I don't go to a comic show on a weekend, if I don't have a show scheduled, I'm probably going to go to a flea market. I'm going to go to an antique store. I'm going to go somewhere. I always leave my Sundays open to go out and hunt and look for stuff, new collections, whatever it may be. So I have piled up a couple things over the last couple months that I haven't talked about. So we're going to kind of just run it through here. Honestly, the last couple weeks, probably. The last couple months is probably an exaggeration. I have a ton of stuff I've been buying. I've been doing videos on. I bought a couple comic book collections I had to do a video on. But, let me know down in the comments below if you want to see more of that stuff. Or if you want to see more, like, me talking about, like, AI work in comics and comic book characters, stuff like that. But if you haven't already, drop a like, drop a comment what you want to see next. Drop a, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Drop a like, helps the algorithm. And we're going to jump right into it. Flip the camera, we're going to talk about it. Alright, we'll start off with a couple of cool pieces here. We'll end off with a pair of 10 and 12 cent Green Lantern keys. So stick to the end if you want to see those. But the Wolverine here, I picked up actually at an antique store for, I think, $1, maybe $2. It's not high grade. You see it's got some spine ticks in it, and it needs to get clean. It's got a little bit of surface dirt there. It's not a high grade guide, but a first Dakin for $1 or $2 I couldn't leave behind. It's not a third claw variant. Keep an eye out for those. There's a, I think 1 in 100, if I remember correctly, one per store. I think it's 1 in 100, where there's the third claw coming down at his wrist. So that's a good book to look out for. But either way, this is a nice little, was a key, still sort of is a key. And then over here, actually, at Frankenstein Comics, I picked up 2 coverless comics recently. I've been on the roll with coverless keys. My one video went to Maryland for a 100 long box put out at a store of dollar books. I found a first Mandarin coverless. If you saw my other recent video about Garden State Comic Fest, I found for $3 a first Doctor Strange Knows 110 coverless. And I also picked these guys up for, I think, $5. $2 or $5, something like that. Jordan Mystery 84, I think 99, I think is the other one. Second Thor, second Loki for, I think, $5 a piece. You can't be mad at that at all. Those are nice little keys. This was first Jane Foster, first Executioner. Pretty solid keys if you wanted. Bag and board them still. But those are, I would say, pretty decent books. And I'm working, if you don't know, I'm working on a full Thor run, and I'm almost done. I'm leaning back into Journey, and some of that Journey books get expensive, so they're nice hole fillers for now. Run fillers, hole fillers. They'll fill the hole. And then at another antique store, different antique store, had Prototype 1 through 4 in their dollar bins. This is a nice little set to put together, video game adaptation. And then I recently picked up 5, I think in the same day, I believe. Somewhere's around there. And so I think I just need a 6, if I'm not mistaken, and that set's done. So, and then this was like $2 or something. Dark Horse Presents 5th Anniversary Special. It's like a $30 book. It's a, trade paperback. Nice little something, something, something. And then also at Frankenstein, I picked up a stack of dollar horror mags. So we got Creepy 54. We got a Creepy 138. Creepy 61. Eerie 57. So those were the handful of horror mags I had snatched up. Always grab these when they're like $1 because you can't go wrong with that. Mummy cover is awesome. Always love these collage covers because, well, the colors that they always pick, that trend-destined pinks and yellows and blue shades, and I don't know, it looks really good. I've always liked that look, But yeah, you can't go wrong with horror mags for $1. They're always pretty solid. All the Frazetta ones were gone by the time I got there, sadly, but I'll take these. That's all that was left. And then I head up the flea market, this weekend. I don't know what reference it is and when this video coming out. But one guy had everything that was in short boxes were dollar books. If they're in a long box, they were $3. And then we did a bundle deal. So I picked up a full set of Deceased for $1 a piece. So these are always good. This is a neat, good selling set. There's certain sets that I will build to sell and track down. That's one of them. And then a set of the B covers, which are all horror movie homages. Like that is, Stephen King's It. That's Nightmare on Elm Street. It's not The Nun. It's not The Exorcist either. Oh, God. Why am I blanking? It's one of those movies. I'm blanking on which cover that goes to. Final Destination, and then The Conjuring, I do believe. Right? Ooh, no. Oh, wow. And I'm a big horror guy, and I'm, like, blanking on 2 of them. That's bad. That's really bad. I do know these. That's bad. But there's 2 5s and no 6, so I gotta find a 6B cover. And then you also had a couple of oddball variants that are probably, like, store exclusives of some sort. The face down looks very Bruce Campbell-esque to me. And then a set of DC's 5s that, I guess, go together. I'm not familiar with this variant or what store it is or whatever it may be. But I picked it up. And then I got the Mary Jane Iron Spider classic Alex Ross cover. New Avengers 33, that's first God Doom. Cool little minor key. Haunt 28, I believe it's the last issue. Tough book to track down. A buddy of mine's been looking for a 27 for 2 years. I actually found him one there to complete his set. So, tough book, believe it or not. Those, especially those late haunts, they're a pain in the ass to track down. And then a Haunt trade paperback was in his bins as well. Edge of Spider-Verse, Spider-Man Noir, #1. It's a good book for my bins. Elvira, Missions of the Dark 40. Some of these Claypool Elviras can be tough to track down. I just recently picked up a couple of them. I think in Maryland. I don't remember which trip to Maryland with video that would be, but, you know. That I believe is Ravager, if I'm not mistaken. That's the first Ravager. Or is that the other Teen Titans key from that run? I think that's Ravager. And then #1 third print. Infinite Crisis 3, the A cover, and 5, the A cover, the Perez covers. So, first, Jaime Reyes, and first Jaime Reyes as Blue Beetle. And, of course, it's a Comics video. If comics are falling over, why wouldn't they be? There we go. And then, buddy of mine, Anthony, was set up out at the flea market as well. So we had a couple of decent books out for, a buck or two. Believe it or not, that's a tough book to come across. It's a low print run indie comic. Not an easy book to find. Not an easy book to find. Wizard 157. This book has a little bit of value to it, just because it's like that homage to that classic Hulk cover with Wolverine and his claws. Homage, reimagining, whatever you want to call it. So, classic cover, and there's Quesada doing it after McFarlane. Shaun of the Dead. I just grabbed it for myself, because why not? Issue 4. Deadpool vs. Thanos. Retailer Summit 2015 variant. I don't know if that has any value or not, but I snatched it just in case. And then Thanos comics. These usually have, these are usually fairly sellable at the very least. And then, on top of all that, I'm going to throw in, before we get to the DC keys, I'd also went to Mark over at Plunder Palace Comics in Cherry Hill, New Jersey, and I picked up a stack of books out of his dollar bin. I also picked up a couple of cool vintage action figures I'll show off at the end of the video if you want to stick around for that too. But he had some nice stuff in his dollar bins. What if, number 16, What If Wolverine Battled Conan the Barbarian? That's always a good book. He had a couple copies. I just grabbed the one clean one. Quasar #1, first issue. Punisher Annual #2, first meeting and fight between Punisher and Moon Knight. Nice little minor key there. Part of the Landis Attacks crossover through all the annuals. Kingdom Come #4. Whenever I see high grade copies, I just snatch them for the set. Walking Dead 100. I believe this is the full set of all the covers, at least the main covers. But first Negan. That's the A cover. So, I grabbed that because A, it's a nice little set to put together, and B, you can always sell first Negan. This is one of the Infinity Countdown variant covers. It's just cool, caught my eye. And it's the introduction to, like, Star, basically, in a sense, sort of, in a way. All-Star Comics, some of the late ones when they came back. I'm a big JSA fan, so, and I actually really like this team because it focuses more on, like, Wildcat and Huntress. And I think Wildcat doesn't have a lot, of story time, if that makes any sense. And then he had an Atlas book in his dollar bin. That's complete. I mean, it's got a big tear right there, but I'll take any Atlas books for $1. Why not? So Battlefront #28, 10-cent Atlas book. Let's see, what year was this? It's complete. It's just got that chunk taken out of the cover in the first page and ripped through the other pages. But 1955, 1955. February. So, sure, I'll take that for a buck. JLA Annual number 2, first appearance of Vibe and Gypsy and the whole Just Like Detroit team right there. So that's a cool little book. That book hit crazy highs over COVID. This was a $40+ book. Now, I just found a couple of them in $1 bin. I mean, they're more than $1 books, I think. But there's another Atlantis Attacks Punisher Annual 2. Secret Invasion Blank. This is always a good one to grab. The X-Men 20th Anniversary cover. Classic X-Men. FF 155. I'll grab any sub 200 Fantastic Four books in the $1 bin whenever I see them. I do believe, quote me if I'm wrong down below, that's first Chemistro. So, cool villain, underused character. I always liked his look. So, then we got an Adam Hughes Rose and Thorn issue. Iron Man's little roadie key right there. Iron Man 304 first Hulkbuster, little minor key there. And then a Dark Wolverine variant 276. So, not too shabby. And we will end off this week's video with a couple of keys that I picked up at Frankenstein Comics. Shout out to Bill Beebe. A couple weeks back. A first appearance of Sinestro. Green Lantern number 7. 10-cent comic. Gorgeous book. Really decent shape, honestly. This is just a classic key. One that I'm surprised I didn't put on my, hunt list, but I was hunting. The hunt list is, 12 or 24 books, something. It's a lot more books than that I'm looking for my personal collection. So, I had to grab it. The price just made sense. And it made sense because it was in a bundle with those 2 Thors and Green Lantern, number 16, First Appearance Star Sapphire. So, that's a nice little book as well. These are 2 absolutely classic Green Lantern books from that second volume. I'm a big DC fan, if you didn't know. I've always loved DC, especially this era of DC. That 60s era was great for Marvel and DC. I think DC does flourish a little bit more in the 70s, but probably so does Marvel, in all fairness, when we're talking story-wise. These are just classic books, absolute gorgeous copies. And yeah, they're nice little keys to pick up. I can't complain about them. They're definitely books that, the Sinestro book, it's a funny one because a lot of people overlook it because he's not on the cover. It's this random X-ray type cover, it looks like it has absolutely nothing to do with Sinestro. This one, Sapphire, is just an awesome cover. It's a good look at her. And, it's a classic 12-cent cover. Green Lantern had a lot of great art back in the day, too. That was a good run. That's one that I would like to put together when I'm done Aquaman. But Aquaman's just a pain in the ass to put together. Because I'm working on trying to figure out what runs I'm going to do next. Because I'm slowly working on, the Marvel major DC titles. But I hyper-focus on one at a time. So as you see, I'm doing Thor and Journey. Journey's kind of just on the back burner. But Thor is pretty much done at this point. So, and Aquaman I've been doing. Aquaman's tough to track down. Nice copies of that original run. So, I guess we're kind of going to see in time where I go from there with Aquaman. But when it comes to a major Marvel title, where should I go next? Let me know down below. What's a good long run to do other than X-Men and ASM for Marvel? Is it Iron Man? Is it Captain America? Is it Avengers? Is it an oddball title? Is it, I'm looking for something that spans, silver, bronze eras. Submariner is one I have a good bulk of. So let me know down below. What's a run that you think is worth doing, or that you do yourself? But I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you follow me here on Facebook and Instagram for more daily content. I put stuff up on Instagram and Facebook every week. Tales from a Hunt, where I talk about going out and looking for the stuff, running into people, stories I have, fun stuff like that. And, as a Facebook and Instagram, Facebook for Fandoms Unleashed, you see behind the scenes look at Connor's comics, polls for upcoming videos, and just talks about comics and movies and video games and fun stuff like that. Real quick before we wrap up, for the toy guys, I also, shout out to Plunder Palace, picked up a carded Dr. Shore and a Draconian Marauder with the box. There it is. And the instructions. Gorgeous piece. I hate that it's sitting cockeyed right there. I'm about to move it. I just moved it quickly. But beautiful mint piece. I hope you enjoyed. Until next time, peace.